And right now, get ready. I'm dialing up Blake Shelton. What's up?
Can you hear me at all?
It's a little, are you getting him clear? Or is it muffled?
Can you hear me?
Blake has a rotary dial phone.
Check, 1, 2, check, testing. I've been holding my phone in my toboggan under the chair.
Yeah, well, now, yeah, it's nice to actually know it's Blake Shelton now.
Does it? Oh, you can hear me, is what you're saying?
Yeah, now the world knows it's you and not some version of you that's been kidnapped and you're in a Mexican cartel basement.
This is already one of the worst podcasts I've ever been a part of, because I thought you were FaceTiming, like FaceTime video, and I had some product placement. I had my Smithworks bottle behind me. I've got a old red sign behind me, and we got to step up to the video level next time.
Well, you know what? Here's the deal. Go ahead. You know, I know you got a lot of NASCAR buddies that know how to do product placement, so go on and get them. You had Smithworks in there. You got Old Red, and what's the other stuff you've got? I'm sure you've got like a truck sponsorship you can talk about. You know, what
I got some weed over here, but I'm not selling it. But it's sitting off to the side here.
Is that what you use to trick Gwen?
Yeah, she's been under the influence for years now. That's the only way I've been able to kind of lead her down this relationship path. She's unaware.
So this morning I woke up having coffee. I was going to try to make this not the worst podcast, which is not even a podcast, by the way.
What is this?
Know what you're getting into, by the way. It's a radio show, Blake. It's on Apple Music Country. Have you heard of it?
I have heard of that. I have.
So anyway, the caption that I used when I went to write my morning questions, my questions down were, "Dear God, the Blake interview." So that was my first thought this morning, having coffee, even before the coffee kicked in.
Okay.
And then after the coffee kicked in is when I took that tablet to the bathroom with me and started really coming up with some great questions for you.
When you say to the bathroom, you mean like you had to go to the bathroom?
Like my morning dookie. All these questions were compiled on my right thigh.
Okay.
I wrote them down.
That's probably where you write most of your songs. Sounds like it anyway.
What extravagant part of the world are you in right now, Mr. Shelton?
I'm in Oklahoma. I'm out here on my farm out here, if you call it a farm. More of a desolate area that rain seems to skip over, so I can't really call it a farm.
Not a rainy season, is it, this year?
No, never is here.
And not much growing for the deer.
Nope.
Isn't life rough?
Well, I miss you. I haven't seen you in a while. It's getting, what, eight or 9 months now since I've seen you, I think. It's ridiculous.
So you know when I come to L.A. and I text you, I'm in L.A., that means that I would like for you to respond back to my text.
Yeah, well, let me just cut to the chase here, if you don't mind. I'm not good at telling people no. And my fiance is adamant about me staying in areas like I can't go. She's very strong about this quarantine thing, which is great. And so when my buddies call...
Has that been a positive thing for the sex life or a negative thing?
No, it's been great. I mean, look, she's the only person I get to see. So that's it. So I know no buddy hanging out time or any, just locked behind the door. And it's sometimes, you know, when you're a prideful, stubborn guy like myself, for me to text you back and say, man, Gwen won't let me go. That's tough. That's, you know what I'm saying? It's embarrassing stuff.
I'm glad you are admitting to me that she makes the decisions and that I'm glad to know that she thinks that I'm infected with COVID. So,
look, man, we all see your music videos, partying, hanging out with everybody, and high-fiving and licking people. It's out of control. You're a super spreader.
All right, I know we've been talking about Blake a lot, but you know what? We got to play Gwen's new one. Let me reintroduce myself. Here's Gwen Stefani.
The simple recipe to get the best of me. Homegrown ingredients, that's what made you mess with me in the first place. Cause you know I'm like organic and it tastes great. I already give you bananas. Go ahead and have yourself me again in your ear. Binge on my music for days, cause I've been here for years. Not a comeback, I'm recycling me. It's not a comeback, you feel the new energy. Na 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 na, got a smile on my face, go ahead and pass it on. Na 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 na, it's free with the coupon. Let me reintroduce myself, case you forgot. No, I'm not records on your shelf. I'm still the original on me. Yeah, original on me. So let me reintroduce myself. Yeah. Ooh, 20 vision. That's 100, but I'm not that good at long division. Get focused, put your glasses on. Seeing color like new crayons. I feel good, I feel great, I feel alright. Oh, na 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 na. Got a smile on my face, go ahead and pass it on. Na 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 na. It's free with the coupon. Let me reintroduce myself, case you forgot. No, I'm not records on your shelf. I'm still the original on me. Yeah, original on me. So let me reintroduce myself. Yeah, I'm still the original me. Yeah, I'm still the original me. Yeah, I'm still. A simple recipe to get the best of me. Homegrown ingredients, that's what made you mess with me. So let me reintroduce myself, case you forgot. No, I'm not records on your shelf. I'm still the original on me. Yeah, original on me. So let me reintroduce myself. Yeah, I'm still the original me. Yeah, I'm still. So let me reintroduce myself. Yeah.
So you realize we haven't gotten to any of the questions that.
All right, I want to hear a question. Quit goofing around. Interview me, damn it.
Okay, here's the interview portion. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the phone with Blake Shelton. He's had 28 number ones spanning, how many damn years have you been at this? Do you even remember?
This year is my 20th year, Luke.
20th year of success. Do you know how many people don't get 20 years, Blake?
Oh, buddy, to be serious with you for a minute, it is, every time there's a moment that, something happens, whether it's a radio hit or, an award nomination or something like that. And I'll see some of the talking about it on the internet or social media. And I'm getting to the point now, age-wise, I guess, and as long as I've had this career, that they'll start throwing up some statistical things, you know what I mean, when they talk about me, because it does go back so far, and it's only when I kind of think about it to myself, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. But when you read somebody saying, if you go back to 2001, that's when Austin first came out, and it's when I read that stuff, it's like I'm reading something about somebody else.
Somebody else's life.
How can it be? How can it be going on that long? It's crazy to me.
What's interesting is I moved to town September 1 of 2001, and Austin was on the radio and obviously moving into town, trying to do the deal. It was just, I remember when I got to town, you were the new guy with the you were the new guy with the song going up the charts, which is so hard for the new guy to have a number one right out of the block. So,
yeah.
So my first month, sadly, my first month in town is associated with you and your song. So
you probably thought, man, if that guy can make it,
hell, yeah,
I'm gonna be playing stadiums one of these days. And look, it worked out for you.
Yeah, it did. That guy, that hair, that song, I got this. I knew I was on my way. So when did you get? What year did you get here?
I moved to Nashville in 1994, and I was 17 years old.
And what was your first? What was your first monthly rent amount? What was your rent a month?
That's a good question. Man, I'm going to say it was like $400 a month, or I didn't have anything when I moved to town. I had the clothes I wore in high school,
which were horrible,
which were flannel shirts with a white T-shirt with the collar stretched out on it underneath. and I moved into an apartment complex, and I think it's still there, called the Bradsford House. It was over at Berry Hill before, back when Berry Hill wasn't the most ideal place to be after dark. It was rough over there back then, and I think since then Berry Hill's kind of turned into a hot spot.
Coffee shops and sandwich shops, and
and studios over there, or there was some studios starting to pop up over there.
Right.
But anyway, yeah, I think it was. I want to say, Luke, it was like a low income apartment that I had. So I'm gonna say it was way down there. I can't remember, to be honest with you.
So yeah, I mean, it's the same deal with me. I moved to town, and I had gotten too much apartment. I got an apartment. I was paying too much, and so it's funny. I had to get out of my rent, which cost you. It's funny when you're broke and you try to get out of a lease agreement, they make you broker by letting you out of.
Right.
I mean,
you can't pay your rent. Well, we're going to keep your deposit too.
Yeah. And so I went through that, and finally I got my monthly rent down. I was renting a room, literally a room, and it was like $300, and it was like, yeah, same deal you did. So did you have a truck? Yeah. Did you have a truck payment?
I did have a truck payment, and I was working. My first job, I worked for technically I worked for Ann Murray in Nashville. I was the tape copy guy at Balmer Music. That was my first real job. I did some odds and ends, while I was trying to get a job, but I wanted a job on Music Row. I felt like, look, if I'm not going to move right into town to get a record deal or a publishing deal, or I don't even know anybody. So I was smart enough, at least, to think if I'm going to get a regular job, it needs to be down there where the writers and the managers and publishers and record companies, I wanted to be in the mix down there. And, and so somehow I got this job. It was barely enough, to get by on, but it was a job and a place to be. But I only had it for about 6 months, and I got let go because, that the tape copy guy's job was, the songwriters come in and the publisher comes in and says, hey, well, I'm having a meeting with, Jim Fogelsong at Capitol Records this afternoon, and I need you to make me these cassette copies. I'm going to pitch these songs for Tanya Tucker.
Very technical job, by the way. Really tough.
That's right. But I'm telling you, man, it'd get to be time for the meeting, and here I'd been, with my ear to the door, listening to somebody write a song or trying to figure out a way. At the time, the hot writer they had over there was a guy named Kim Treble.
Oh yeah,
and I remember always trying to think of something to talk to. I about drove that poor guy crazy, but I basically wasn't getting my job done, so I got let go after about 6 months, and that's when I started painting signs for a living, which was not on Music Row.
Hey, you're tall. You're tall. You can reach the high signs. The tall
That's true.
signs.
That's true.
Who was the when you met them, and who flipped who got it going early on? Who was the dude that, like, when you met them, you were like, which there's always multiple people, but
yeah.
And don't get yourself.
Yeah, you're right, because when you asked that, I thought of Bobby Braddock,
right?
And I still would say he's the most pivotal person that I met along the way. But you got to meet people that introduce you to someone like him. And before Bobby Braddock, there was a guy named Michael Kosser who really took me under his wing, and he even signed me to my first real publishing deal in Nashville. And it was through that I was able to meet a lot of people, and through that publishing deal that I started working with Bobby Braddock on an artist and producer level, and that was the turning point for me.
She left without leaving a number. Said she needed to clear her mind. He figured she'd gone back to Austin, 'cause she talked about it all the time. It was almost a year before she called him up. 3 rings and an answering machine is what she got. If you're calling about the car I sold it, if this is Tuesday night I'm bowling, if you got something to sell, you're wasting your time, I'm not buying. If it's anybody else, wait for the tone, you know what to do. And P.S., if this is Austin, I still love you. The telephone fell to the counter. She heard, but she couldn't believe. What kind of man would hang on that long? What kind of love that must be? She waited 3 days, and then she tried again. She didn't know what she'd say, but she heard 3 rings, and then, if it's Friday night, I'm at the ball game, and first thing Saturday, if it don't rain, I'm headed out to the lake, and I'll be gone all weekend long. But I'll call you back when I get home on Sunday afternoon. And P.S., if this is Austin, I still love you. Well, this time she left her number, but not another word. Then she waited by the phone on Sunday evening, and this is what he heard. If you're calling about my heart, it's still yours. I should've listened to it a little more, then it wouldn't have taken me so long to know where I belong. And by the way, boy, this is no machine you're talking to. Can't you tell this is Austin? And I still love you. I still love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on the phone with Blake Shelton. He's had 28 number ones. You know, I'm trying to catch you, by the way. I think I'm at 26, but you won't stop having them.
Well, there may be an open door for you here to take the lead. I can't seem to stay out of controversy these days. No matter how much I try. So I think, you know, the more I stay in tabloids and things like that, I think the sicker and sicker people are getting of me. and it's my God, I want somebody else on the cover.
Well, the best thing about, you know, the only silver lining in COVID is I can wear a mask and I can go to Kroger and I can read you on the tabloids.
Do you know what's funny? And you know this, Luke. There is no more boring human being on the damn planet than me.
I know this.
I mean, back in the day, they missed the good days to write stuff about me because it's been about 15 years too late. Now you're always, I don't know how you get away with the crap you do.
Man, I'm just so lovable, and you're not. And that's
that's true.
So I'm looking
back to my point. I think you got an open window here to take the lead on me.
You know what? I'm looking at a copy of Us Weekly. It says Blake and Gwen call off wedding ! And Gwen's expression is definitely like she's called the wedding off.
Like she's happy.
And your expression is you seem to be constipated that the wedding is called off.
Well, perhaps it's my digestive problems is why that's being called off. She can't take it anymore. Maybe.
Other than getting Gwen Stefani to wear camouflage on a regular basis, what?
Oh, hey, wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. I can't wait to tell her you just said that. If there's one thing that she gets frustrated about is the fact that she insists she's been wearing camouflage her entire career, and she doesn't know why I get credit.
Well, here's the deal. She's wearing, we know what camo she used to wear.
Exactly. She wore the good old Army
right,
woodland.
You know, the fashionable stuff, but you have her in actual real hunting patterns that matter, that actually matter to the woods and the deer and the animals. That is a gigantic leap.
Before you give me too much credit for that, let me just tell you that Gwen learned coming to Oklahoma that there is no way to prepare for what the weather situation is going to be here. And by that, I mean, and we've had it this holiday season. One day it's 70 degrees and literally the next morning it's snowing. And so she has just finally given up, and she's like, okay, I just let me dig through your clothes. And that's how she ends up wearing some of these things that she probably normally wouldn't be caught dead in.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, in California, you can literally wear shorts and a tank top every day.
Right.
And even it's funny in California, and I'm sure you notice, there will be a cool night, and people will literally wear full-length goose-down parkas, and it's actually 53 degrees, but they're acting like they're in the Arctic Circle.
They act like the streets are slick. They can't drive all of a sudden. Like, what are you doing? It's not free. What are you doing?
All right, so other than actually getting Gwen Stefani in authentic, real hunting camo, what is the accomplishment that you're most proud of?
The biggest moment in my career was getting that job on The Voice, you know, because it just took me to a whole new audience, and it took my career to new places that you know, as a country singer, you hope to get to the top. You know, I mean, otherwise, you know, what are you doing? You know, you want as many people to hear and love your music as they can, you know. But then with The Voice, it introduced me to people who weren't even necessarily country fans, you know, and it expanded my profile to a whole new audience, you know, and so that's been the biggest career move, I think, personally for me. Being inducted to the Grand Ole Opry is unbelievable.
Yeah, definitely.
you know, and you and I, we would probably say things, on the phone to each other differently than we would on this radio show of yours about award shows, because they seem to go in cycles of I think how the industry would feel what's credible, and then what's everybody walking away scratching their head. I've had moments in award shows that I walked away so blown away and proud, and I couldn't have been more excited and honored to have won awards. And in those same moments, I knew in the back of my mind that so many people were going, "What in God's name? Are you kidding me? Blake Shelton won So as much as sometimes I'll bitch and moan about, award shows and going, "Oh man, what the hell? They didn't deserve that." I know that I was catching the brunt of that when it was my turn, Yeah,
so. I mean, you're right. I mean, good Lord. For everybody out there listening, Blake and I, we will call each other and we talk about the state of all of music and country music, and it's just fun.
We gossip.
We barber shop or beauty shop.
Get
gossip.
over it, people.
Get over it. Yep.
I've always been a rolling stone with a reckless streak. Yeah, the grass never gets too grown underneath my feet. City lights, southern stars, no such thing as gone too far. I'm running wide open. I was born with my feet in motion. Since I met you, I swear I could be happy anywhere. Any mapped out location, you're always my destination. You're the only thing that I'm chained to. I could be happy anywhere. I could be happy anywhere with you. Yeah, the beauty of the northern lights in my mind is faded. The blue sky over Telluride next to you's kinda overrated. The winding road, let it twist. My home's wherever your heart is. I'm running wide open. I was born with my feet in motion. But since I met you, I swear I could be happy anywhere. Any mapped out location, you're always my destination. You're the only thing that I'm chained to. I could be happy anywhere. I could be happy anywhere with you. So girl, I hope you know, wherever you go, I know. I'm running wide open. I was born with my feet in motion. But since I met you, I swear I could be happy anywhere. Any mapped out location, you're always my destination. You're the only thing that I'm chained to. I could be happy anywhere. I could be happy anywhere with you. I could be happy anywhere with you.
Well, so here's the deal. We've covered a lot of things. I've spent a lot of your time, and thank you for kind of mentoring me into getting into American Idol. You were certainly my first call, and then I called Keith Urban, and he gave me much better advice. But I still can.
Yeah, but you couldn't understand a damn word he said.
Right. I mean, yeah, I did hire a translator for Australian, but anyway,
man, you know what? Look, I'll tell you this, man. I knew that wouldn't be a one and done for you.
Well,
because you're one of those people that you just have the whatever that thing is, with that thing that you're looking for with people on American Idol, you have it.
I know you feel the same way. I mean, nothing is more fun than being in the room when a star is born. I mean,
yeah.
And you got to go through hundreds of people to find that to find that star. And, it's just like when Gabby Barrett walked into American Idol. She didn't win American Idol, but even I just said there was just something magical about that. And so to see it go from there to, good God, I think she's even nominated for Grammys and
wow.
So it's pretty, and I know you've seen that stuff too, and that's what brings you back, and getting to, when you see the finished product of a really, and The Voice does that. Obviously we inadvertently kind of compete against each other, but The Voice and American Idol, telling the stories of the kids and me sitting up there. I remember when I took the role of Idol, I'm like, man, there ain't no way I'm gonna be boo-hooing and crying and emotional. But it is emotional, and it is amazing to watch kids put their life on the line. They are even this past year, we had a girl faint in front of us, and it was the first time ever, but because it was so powerful. I'm sure y'all have had them on The Voice. Just kind of
always said that it's the tough parts of our jobs are in two different parts of the two different timelines. Because what you guys do with the audition process, like you're literally out there hitting the streets, and people coming in with a number, taped on their back or chest or whatever, and they're just as raw as they could possibly be. And where on The Voice, by the time they get through the audition process to make it onto the blind auditions, they're a little more prepared for that moment.
Right.
Because what they go through just to get to that part, and then the tough part for us is more towards the back half when we've been in a room with these people trying to months,
and trying to make them authentic, trying to really make sure they're authentic,
Yeah.
Well, it's been an amazing ride being on TV, and like I said, you said do it, and I said, heck yeah, I'm going to do it. And man, it was like you told me, it certainly opens your eyes, opens your world up to stuff you never can imagine. So thank you for that. The world can hear me say thank you, Blake Shelton.
You're welcome, buddy. And look at you now. You got your own, what is it, a Green Wave beer? No, it's two-lane, like two-lane roads.
Blake,
golly,
like the road, like when you leave L.A. and you're stressed and you land in Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. And you get in that old beat-up truck of yours and you turn on that two-lane road. That feeling you get in your heart and your soul. That's what this beer what this beer does to your soul.
It's a state of mind. Your beer is a state of mind.
What is Smithworks? What is your slogan for Smithworks, Blake?
Here's to here. Which pretty much means whatever's going on wherever you're at, this calls for a drink.
I thought it'd be like Smithworks vodka. You won't shit in your pants.
I can't promise that.
Well, here's two-lane slogan, Blake. Two-lane American Golden Lager. Every two-lane brings you home. See?
Oh, I like that.
Doesn't that just make you want to take your car key and pop a hole in the bottom of it and shotgun a couple?
Yes, and walk by some people's cars with that same car key and just give them a good old stripe down the side of it just because you're in a bad mood that day.
Oh, God. Oh, you'll love this story. The world needs to hear this. So we were talking about car payments and rent, and Blake and I, there was a bar in town called Silverado's man.
Oh, my gosh.
So
Silverado.
And the deal was Sunday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., you paid a $10 cover charge, and it was all you could drink long necks. And so you'd get there at 7, and between 7 and 9, you would drink 45 long necks.
Right.
Well, so I had went broke, and I had to sell my truck that I moved, and I had gotten a Honda Accord.
Oh.
And I came out, and I'd parked my Honda Accord at Silverados, and when I came out, somebody had what made me think of this is the keying of the vehicle. Somebody had slashed all 4 tires on my Honda.
Man, you're in there you dancing with the wrong girl, buddy.
Danced with the wrong girl. So hey, at least it wasn't a cue ball to the nose. It was slashed tires.
That's true.
So the beauty of doing Party Barn Radio is I get to talk to my buddy Blake Shelton, and then I get to play my favorite song that Blake Shelton ever did. Here it is, She Wouldn't. We're going to leave with this. We're going to have a little fun. This is called Scale of 1 to 10 with Blake Shelton. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least, 10 being the big number. All right, I'm going to ask you some questions, and you tell me the number. Scale of 1 to 10, Blake Shelton, you lose 20 pounds for your wedding. Ooh.
I feel like if I say 10, I have to do it. So 10. It's out there now. I can't let people down. I've readjusted all the mirrors in the house so they look like when you're taking a selfie from up above. Because I can't even stand to look at myself in the mirror, so I've rearranged them, or they're kind of angled down, looking down at me, so I'm looking up, and it's not so bad.
You know what tells me that it's bad right now? Because I just put on a pair of Carhartt jeans every day. I go to the same Carhartts. And my belly, I don't even have to wear a belt with them because I have to inhale, slip them on, and then my belt, there we go. My belly holds them up. So
it holds them tight.
All right, Blake Shelton, scale of 1 to 10. Gwen actually goes through with it. She actually walks the aisle.
I'm going with a 10, buddy.
Oh, confident.
I got confidence.
Put that
I believe in it.
Put that on your tabloid.
Okay.
Blake Shelton, scale of 1 to 10. I'm the best man.
Ooh. Well, once again, I told you earlier that I'm not good at saying no.
Listen, and point 0.5 is not a proper answer.
I told you I'm not good at saying no earlier, right?
I got you.
So perhaps I'll just blame this on COVID again.
Okay, I got you.
And say, man, I don't know, Luke, if we're gonna maybe we're just gonna have a private ceremony. What if
I'm able to show documents of negative test results and a positive antibody test?
I think we'll wait and see. I think I'll wait and see what your tour schedule comes out as before we plan our wedding.
All right. Scale of 1 to 10, Blake, you cry during the ceremony.
Cry? Oh, come on. 5.
Oh, so you're going to cry, man.
We'll see.
God, can I hire the photographer to document that? All right, scale of 1 to 10, that there is a fifth of Smith Works vodka in your coat while you're standing there.
That's a 1. That's a 1.
You're not no Smith Works to get you through it. Oh, good answer.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that. I'm just not going to put it in my coat. There won't going to be, if I don't lose that 20 pounds anyway, there won't be any room in there.
I got you.
I'll just have it sitting right off to the side.
All right, scale of 1 to 10, you'll honeymoon in Oklahoma.
That's got to be a 1. That's just
it better,
you know better than that.
It better be.
We may have to go crash my playa or something.
Scale of 1 to 10, you will dye your beard or darken your white walls for the wedding.
Man, I'll give that an 8.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I can teach when you go to darken.
Yeah,
call me.
Okay,
because you need to wear the gloves. You need to wear the gloves, and you know
about it.
Oh, I got it down. Yeah.
Okay.
Have you? Yeah. Anyway, reference some of my hunting videos when I've neglected the beard. I'm rocking along about 80% Kenny Rogers right now.
Okay.
God bless him. So here we go. Scale of 1 to 10. Adam Levine sings at the wedding.
I'm gonna give that I'll give that a 5. I'll give Adam I'll put the ball in his court.
I got you. All right. And lastly, if you do not honeymoon in Oklahoma and you decide to go to a beach destination, scale of 1 to 10, that you will go shirtless at your honeymoon at some point.
1.
Even if you've lost the 20 pounds.
Even if I lose 20 pounds, it'll still look like melted vanilla ice cream with some black hairs sprinkled in it. So,
All
no.
right. I love you, buddy. Thanks for playing along on scale of 1 to 10. I'm not sure we got anywhere with that, but anyway, I love you. Thank you for your time.
Love you, buddy. Congratulations on your Apple Music radio cast, whatever the hell you're calling this.
Yes, Blake, it's called Party Barn Radio because you know what, man? I bring the party. I bring the party.
Let me know when the Zach Brown episode comes out. I'd love to hear it.
Hey, it's coming out. You know what?
Okay.
I have a forgiving heart, Blake. Forgiving heart.
I know you do. That's why I'm excited.
All right. Love you.
Love you too, buddy.
Bye. Thank you for the time.
Yes, sir.